Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Taurus gang in mid-March? Please, what energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus in mid-March. What is the vibe? What's the energy here for my good friends? Please and thank you. Let's get this card out nice and quick. Hopefully, deck has been being pretty specific. Okay, cool. So I did see this for you, I think a few weeks ago. It showed up for you like a couple of weeks in a row. And I do like this because it feels pretty chill. It feels like an energy that's just like doing its own thing. That's one thing I love about Taurus energy for the most part. It's like I pick a lane, I stay in a lane. But there's also a beautiful Venus type of energy connected to this card as well. It could speak about looks and appearances. So I like it for the most part. Before we fully get into that though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady. She's kind of wearing costume and she's in the midst of this flock of birds. Not sure if those are cranes or storks, not sure of the species, but what I do know is that she's trying to blend in with that crowd. Now, to me, this really splits in a couple different ways. For some of you, this could be an individual you're connected to that could be laying low, possibly avoiding things. Like that's the downside of this card. It can be a little avoidant. Maybe there's a certain situation where you're like, I don't have the energy for that right now. I'm going to avoid this if possible. The energy is just really laying low. For another portion of you, like I said, you might just be in your own lane, doing your own thing. I get this card for you guys on a semi-regular basis. The other path that this could go, this card could represent aesthetics, right? You notice how beautiful she is wearing a costume. So for some Tauruses, maybe you're switching up the look in one way or another, whether it's like the wardrobe or how you present yourself. This is a big card of appearances, and I do like it. To me, it's like really beautiful. So there could be something connected to aesthetics that you're switching up or changing up. I mean, it could even be the house too, right? You might be redecorating an area of the house with this card, but we're just going to put her down right there. Let her lay low. We're not going to bother her. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Taurus friends. Let's see what we got for you. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Serious Situation. Now, just know that energies could bleed over for a couple weeks. To me, it felt like there was either a situation that you need to take seriously, like if it's something you weren't taking seriously, you might wanna, or at the very least, something you need to keep your eye on. That was the big vibe with the energy we were picking up last week. But we're gonna see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Taurus. What do we got? Please. There we go. Nice and quick. Okay, death card. Don't be nervous about that. It's a powerful card, that's for sure, but this is also an energy that you can vibe with, believe it or not. It does connect to Scorpio, which is your opposite sign. So I feel like that can be okay for some of you. Let's get a couple more. We got Temperance, cool. So this is a good energy to have next to that death card. There's a lot of spiritual energy around you this week, Taurus, like way more than normal. And you're one of the signs that have a lot of spiritual energy, like at baseline. Like with these 2 leading it off, it's like, whoa, there's a lot of unseen spiritual energy like flocking around you for whatever reason. Let's get one more here. What do we got for Taurus, please? Thank you. Okay, so we do have the 8 of Cups here on the back end, and you do have a bonus, which I think this bonus could really play well, and it might be beneficial. We have the beautiful 6 of Wands right here as a bonus. That's a card of wins and victories. So there's an interesting mixture of stuff happening here. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, This week, the element, and I look at the elements first because it tells us where the energy could be concentrated and how energy is moving. There's a lot of water here, especially in the main part of the spread. We got the Death card, which is Scorpio, that's water. We have the Eight of Cups, which is also water. That's the realm of feelings, that's the realm of emotion, that's your inner world. It could also be imagination and creativity. It's not all bad. But the energy is moving, that's for sure. We do have some fire here as well with Temperance and with the Six of Wands. So it's like this mixture of fire and water this week. So it's like feelings and action, feelings and action. So watch out for unpredictable swings of energy that could possibly happen. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I feel like there's a lot of powerful energy at play, especially with the spiritual aspects of it. But position number one, we are starting with the Death card. Now, if you've ever seen tarot being pulled in a movie, this card comes out every single time, right? But it is nothing to be nervous about. Yeah, the imagery is a little scary, but this is just Scorpio energy. And what do I think of with Scorpio energy? I might be a little biased because my moon sign Scorpio. I feel like it's an energy and it's a card of transformation, of change, right? Death, it represents an inevitable change that everyone has to experience at least once. But to me, this is not just an ending, although it can be. So we might see chapters closing, things ending when this card shows up in a reading. To me, it's more of remaking something, revamping something. Phoenix rising from the ashes, learning from past lessons, learning from past mistakes. And it is a very spiritual card. Another thing I have to say about the Death card is that it can just be extremely karmic. So whether it's someone catching a dose of karma, whether it's a situation that's karmic, a karmic change, we'll just have to look. Even a karmic connection with a person, we'll just have to see. The most challenging aspect of the Death card could just be the fact that it's either something that's inevitable or something that's out of your hands. That's the one thing I will say when this card shows up. So we shall see. I mean, we're not just going to say, oh, Death card's here, that's an ending. It doesn't always have to be that. Now, moving over to the next card, we have Temperance, another very powerful major arcana. And as you can see right here, that does connect to the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So it's interesting, we have that little part of the zodiacal wheel, Scorpio into Sag. These energies do balance each other off quite well, in my opinion. But Temperance has the Archangel Michael on it. Beautiful, protective type of energy. Often when I see this, it is a message from Spirit saying like, hey, you're being protected, you're being looked after, you are being insulated. Watch for signs and synchronicities from your guides, your spirit team, your ancestors. When this card shows up, I feel like it's really nice. Now, Temperance can represent taking your foot off the gas with something, not forcing something, taking a minute, taking a breath, taking a break. That could be a big thing with this card. It's a card of patience. And in its positive sense, notice that Archangel Michael here, very protective. He's doing some sort of alchemy here with the cups in the picture. He always is. So although the energy seems calm and serene and not much is going down, there's a strong, intense, fiery energy building up underneath the surface. So we'll have to see. I would say the downside to Temperance, it could represent impatience. It could represent delays. It could represent something that just won't seem to shift or change. So we'll just have to see, because we have this card of inevitable change right here on the front end. And then Temperance, which is like, well, let's hurry up then. So some of you, there could be a situation where you're like, all right, well, let's hurry it up. Let's get a move on here. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Eight of Cups. This is another card that gets a bit of bad reputation. Now, I don't always say this is walking away from something, although it can be. To me, it's more just action. We're either going towards something or moving away from it. But the card is not stagnant. So I do like that for the energy. It's because we have the Death card, Temperance, a time of waiting or taking a breath, and then the Eight of Cups is on the move again. So it's like the energy's moving, it's pausing, it's moving again. So there is like a little stutter step in the energy this week. But again, the Eight of Cups, yeah, it can represent going to the next level with something, or it could represent walking away from something too. I mean, whatever it might be. And it doesn't always just have to be a person, right? It could be a thought process. It could be a habit. It could be any situation. So we'll just have to see. The energy is on the go. Now, as we get this tucked in right where it belongs, we have one more card for you. You had a little bonus this week, and that is the Six of Wands, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. It's complete and total victory. This is someone that's being celebrated for the things that they do. It's a card of kudos, gaining recognition. Not saying that's something you're looking for, but when I see this, I'm like, okay, I like where this is headed. So this is a good little footnote to have within. The one thing I will say, watch out for egotistical people or ego in general, because that's the big warning with that. But I want to dive deeper on all the Taurus. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for my Taurus friends? What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the death card. What's happening? And yes, for your reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, death card. What's happening? Why is it here, please? Thank you. Okay. I mean, there's certain things that you just can't fight it. You just can't fight it. I mean, we have the Five of Swords. This energy does feel a little bit grumpy. It does. And it is a card. I don't want to say it concerns me, but it's aggressive, right? And like when I see it underneath the death card, it's like I'm resisting this. I'm going to put up a fight against this. So whatever it might be, listen, I know there's a lot of Tauruses going through a lot of things. There are always going to be certain things in life that are out of your hands, right? And I'm not trying to sound sanctimonious or anything like that. It's just a fact of life. I'm sure a lot of you already understand that. But when we see the Five of Swords, look at this person. They're aggressive, right? They're not taking no for an answer. They got all the swords. They're going to win out one way or another. And it's fighting to get its way. When I see it underneath this death card, it's like, I mean, there might not be, it's something that's unstoppable. Okay, so for some of you, could it be a change that someone's trying to stop? Sure. Could it be an ending that someone's not quite happy with? Absolutely. Could this just be someone that is angry, upset, mad? Sure. Like when I see the death card with the Five of Swords, it's a very intense energy, and it could possibly be angry as well. But to me, I feel like it's somebody trying to fight against something that, I mean, it is what it is. Like you did what you could do. That's the best you can do sometimes. So it's like we have this little mixture of energies here. So let's just go through the few messages I got before we move on to the next one. One, this could be someone that is very resistant or stubborn to change. They're trying to resist something, or this could be somebody, they're not happy about how something has ended. They could be very grumpy, angry, upset. So this could most definitely be somebody in their feelings. But I also feel like there is something that is just unstoppable at this point. Like listen, it's on track. This is the way it's going. It is what it is. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward to Temperance and see what's up. So a little difficult, that energy in the front, but I still have high hopes, especially with Temperance and the rest of it next. So why is Temperance here from a beautiful Taurians? What's going on? What do we got for Taurus, please? Okay. So there are some harsh undertones here. The Ten of Swords is in reverse. That is the best way we want to receive this card. This is something that will heal and can heal. This could be someone that either they're turning to spirituality to assist them and help them. That's a beautiful thing. If that is an energy that can help. So just know if you're going through a difficult time, listen, I'm not one to control and urge people to explore different spiritual beliefs. But when I see Temperance with the Ten of Swords in reverse, it's like something on the energetic side is taking the sting off. It is very protective when I see Temperance with the Ten of Swords in reverse. But I have to say it, these cards all together, especially with the Eight of Cups, there could be certain chapters that are closing. They're meant to, for whatever reason. So yeah, it could be an ending or it could be a chapter that's closing. That's the big vibe I'm picking up. However, and again, I don't want to sound sanctimonious. I don't want to sound like I'm placating. When I see Temperance with the Ten of Swords in reverse, it's like everything will be okay. The worst of it's over. The worst part is over. So let's keep moving. Let's see what's up with the Eight of Cups. This reading has been turning out a little heavier than I thought it would, but I still feel like it's okay. Even though it's not easy, it's not an easy energy, but it's okay. For some of you, if life has been quiet, if you have just been in your own lane and none of this is hitting and you're just in your own bubble, just watch out for like the emotional or mental strains in this time, especially with all the swords and the undertones, because you might overthink things or just psych yourself out of things. I mean, again, this could be just someone you're connected to as well. So let's see what's up with the Eight of Cups. So why is the Eight of Cups here? Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. Okay. And energy does lift. I mean, talk about heavy energies. We do have the devil, but it's showing up in reverse underneath this Eight of Cups. So it's like we have a possible, I don't want to say it's a choice, but when I see the devil in reverse, it's like, okay, well, again, the worst of something is over, which is a really good thing. So whether it is a situation, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a work thing, it's like, all right, well, the hard part is over. Recognizing it, or now the only thing left is action. Now you could fight it, you could go along with it, but the way the energy feels to me is very freeing, because the energy on the top feels lighter than the energy on the bottom, that's for sure. Now the devil in reverse underneath it, that's a good way we want to receive this card. There is an energetic warning here overall because of the intensity of this reading, but could be a Capricorn you're connected to. Devil, if it was in the upright, I would be very concerned, because under the Eight of Cups, it'd be like, oh, this is something you can't shake. This is something you can't get away from. The devil energy sticks around and sticks around. It sticks around. It's never anything new. It could also represent addictions, jealousy, you name it, toxic people. So when we see it in reverse underneath the Eight of Cups, it's like liberated. It's a freeing type of energy. So for some of you, if you are going through a difficult time or a difficult situation, Spirit might want you to possibly adjust your perspective on it, if that makes sense. Like, don't try not to be mad about it, try not to fight it, but just see it for what it is. These are very powerful, intense energies that you're getting this week. So I do feel like this could be an energetic warning overall. And it makes sense with all the stuff that's going on astrologically. I don't think I've seen such an intense spread for you in quite a while, to be honest. Usually your spreads have a little mellowness to them. There's an intensity to the reading this week. But let's go through and do a quick recap, and we'll get into the shadow. There is most definitely energy of certain chapters closing, certain chapters ending, for sure. But position number one, we have the Death card with the Five of Swords in the upright. So either this is someone that's very resistant to change, someone that's trying to say, no, not yet. I'm going to fight this off. I'm fighting against the tide of something where it's like, no, and it could also be someone that's angry or upset over how something ended. I do get a little bit of anger and madness right there in the front. Moving to the center, we have Temperance, very protective with the Ten of Swords in reverse. This to me, yeah, it just reiterates again, there could be various chapters closing out for you at this time, but it also tells me the worst part's over, and there is really strong spiritually protective energy around you, and spiritual practice could probably help you quite a bit in this time. Moving to the back end, we have the Eight of Cups with the Devil in reverse. So it's a very freeing, very liberated type of energy. I guess it depends on how you frame these situations and how you look at it. It's very important. Like, yeah, you could be upset about something. You could be angry. You could hold a grudge about it. Or you could say, you know what, now I'm free to go to the next level for whatever reason. It's all about perspective here. But yeah, Taurus, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. There is an intense energetic warning this week. But yeah, please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get to one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. We'll have something to take the edge off a little bit, hopefully. Okay, cool. Queen of Pentacles. And this is something I've been seeing for all the earth signs. So Capricorn got the Queen of Pentacles. Virgo got the Empress. You get the Queen of Pentacles, all showing up in the shadows, which is very reassuring to me, especially since you are an earth sign. This could be a card representing your self-worth, your self-power, and your staying power in regards to things. Now, the good thing about her is she's filled with blessings and abundance and potential. That's why I love having her as a shadow card. But the only challenge with her is adaptability. So again, there is like this energy here within the reading itself and even showing up in the shadows. Like, all right, well, you might have to be a little more malleable or changeable when this energy shows up. Try not to like stick your foot in the ground with certain things and say, you know what, we're just going to go with the flow. That's a big thing with the shadow side of this card. But again, I feel like it's a positive thing for a lot of you that just like we saw within the reading, like there could be good times ahead. There could be great energies on the horizon, especially with her as a shadow card. So that's something to look forward to. So yeah, Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and get a little glimpse into whatever situations you're dealing with, you can check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March schedule is up and live, but for the March subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, where in this beautiful big world are you from? I'll go first. I'm from New Jersey, and you could just put it down in the comments and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.